Casey Gray here from the Contractor Builder, and on today's video we're going to be talking about what a general contractor does. I'm also going to get into why you need a general contractor if you are a homeowner looking to have your project completed, and I'll finish with what's required to become a general contractor if that is what you're looking to get into. So let's get into this video. First thing I want to talk about is people skills. This is extremely important. As a general contractor, you are the middleman. You are in between the homeowner, the employees, and the subcontractor. Ultimately, everybody is coming back to you as a general contractor to complete the project. You want to take this project from start to completion, and everybody needs to be working towards the same goal. So as the leader, you need to make sure that everybody understands very clearly what the ultimate outcome is, and that everybody understands their roles, and that they continue to move forward. It's not going to be problem-free. There's always going to be something that comes up. It's the nature of the beast, and the GC has to make sure that everybody is still working together no matter what to get the project done. That is number one. The next thing I want to talk about is the IDP, Integrated Design Process. As a general contractor, this is extremely important for us to be a part of. This is often a conversation that we need to have with the homeowners, with the designers. It's too common to have a design completed and then you go out and you shop it around and the homeowner gets all these prices back. They're never comparing apples to apples. They usually go with the lowest bidder and then the project doesn't go well. Surprise, surprise, right? Because of how the process went before that. If you go with an integrated design process, you have the homeowner, the designer, the general contractor, and the energy advisor. They all come together at the beginning and they work towards the end goal. So there's three things that we ultimately need to know. Number one is priorities. As the homeowner, what are your top priorities? What are you trying to accomplish for your project? Number two is, what is your budget? What do you want, or what are you willing to spend on your project? You have to share this or else you're going to design beyond your budget. And number three is, what is the energy target? What are you aiming for? What's that goal? You need to have these targets, budget, and the energy consumption, because if you don't, you're essentially putting a blindfold on, spinning around and trying to pin the tail on the donkey, right? And you're not going to hit the bullseye. So when you have these things and you bring them all together and you bring your entire team together, then you can make sure that it's designed and built within the specifications that you want. Next thing I want to roll into is liability. And I'm not talking about like warranty, I'm talking about liability for things that could happen on site. For example, somebody getting hurt on site. So here in Ontario, it's WSIB. We need to make sure that all of our sub-trades, including ourselves, have WSIB and that they have their clearance certificates, because if they don't have it, then we as a GC are liable if one of their employees were to get hurt or they were to get hurt. That's coming out of our pocket, out of our insurance. If you're somewhere else, it's going to be called something different. It just depends on where you live. Other liability could be somebody walking on site who's not necessarily a subcontractor, but maybe a neighbor walks on site and they hurt themselves, they fall, or something may happen. There's liability insurance for that. Or if something were to fly off a roof and land on someone's car or on your neighbor's house or damage the property, these are all things that could happen on a project. A general contractor takes responsibility for all of that. So if you decide to do your own project, keep in mind that you are putting yourself at risk for all of these things that a general contractor will have insurance for. And the next thing is scheduling. This is obviously a big part of getting a project to completion. And especially now, during these times, schedules are out the windows. Delays are happening everywhere. That is why we here at the Contractor Builder have been putting a lot more time into planning ahead, making sure that we have decisions ahead of time instead of making them throughout the project. We used to be able to make a decision on the fly in some cases because we'd have time, we'd be able to get the material fairly quickly, depending on what it was, and it wouldn't cause any delays. That cannot happen anymore. We're waiting months for siding. We're waiting months for windows and doors. We're waiting months for interior doors. It's crazy. So these are all extremely important things. And the relationship that a general contractor will have with the suppliers, with the subcontractors, is that much more important, because it's not just the materials that are delayed, it's the whole industry is busy. Subcontractors are busy, right? So to get the electrician to site, to get the plumber, to get the mechanical guy, to get the site work contractor to site, we will have, as a general contractor, more pull than a typical homeowner would have if they were doing their own project, because they don't have that relationship. They haven't, been working with that trade for years, right? We've been working with some of the trades that we work with. we've been working with longer than I've been in business because I knew them before I went on my own. So these are all important things when it comes to scheduling, and then being able to manage that schedule, because things change every single day, especially now. Things are just happening. Somebody gets sick, you have to close down the site now, you have to do the COVID testing. This creates a domino effect. So it's an ever-changing environment that somebody needs to be managing that schedule, and that's what a good general contractor will do, is to make sure to update that schedule, to manage that schedule, to work with whatever the environment is, and to keep you as a homeowner up to date on everything that's happening. So the other thing a general contractor will do is obviously the management of all of the funds for that project, right? There's going to be a lot of money coming in from the homeowner and money going out to subcontractors, employees, and materials and so forth. So that is all part of the general contractor's role, is managing that budget, making sure things are on track, and if things are changing, to make sure that everyone is aware of what's changing, because things change all the time. I've been a part of projects where things get changed on site. The homeowner says, yeah, let's move ahead with that. They know it's going to be an extra cost, but then they said yes to a few other things, and then the paperwork didn't go through, or they forgot about it, or whatever it may be. And when you send them the bill, they're surprised at the cost. These are all things that we've learned from the past, but these are all things that need to be managed by the general contractor. That is the budget, making sure that we're staying on track with the budget. And inevitably it's going to change because things change and people want to make changes. But as long as they're aware of that and staying on track with the new updated budget, that is all extremely important. A lot of work happens in the background to make that happen. All right, if you're a homeowner looking for a general contractor, I'm urging you not to go for the lowest price. Go for the person who you feel most comfortable with. If that happens to be the lowest price, then great. But don't go for the lowest price, because often the lowest price means that something was missed. And if you're not clear on what's included, chances are it's not included. And I've seen it too many times where we lose a job to somebody who decided or said that they could do it lower. We've actually had people come back. We had somebody come back recently who said, the other builder who we went with couldn't build the house for the price that they said they could. Can you give us a price to build this? This is our budget. And we just looked at it and said, no, that's not possible. This is what we talked about before, unfortunately. So they had to cancel the project. I don't know if they lost money, but either way, going for the lowest price is not always going to help you. Going for the person that you are most comfortable with will help you, because you trust them, because you have a relationship with them, because they're communicating with you. Those are going to be the things that make a project go well. All right, for the people out there looking to become a general contractor, the first place I'd recommend starting is your local building association. Here where we live in Ottawa, it's GOBA, stands for Greater Ottawa Home Builders Association, which is affiliated with the Ontario Home Builders Association, the Canadian Home Builders Association. That has been a massive resource. When I started the business, they had all the connections that I needed to kind of understand what was required and understand what I could do to start and grow my business. Here, we don't need any licenses to become a general contractor or to become a carpenter even. There are things out there to become a licensed carpenter, and I am, and that makes me better at what I do. However, it's not a requirement. You may be living somewhere where you need to get a license. So when you go to the Builders Association, they should be able to guide you in the right direction. I am a big fan of sitting around the table with your quote-unquote competitors, because usually the people sitting around that table are not your competitors. You're all working towards the same goal. There's more than enough work for everybody out there, and the guys who really want to do a good job, the people who really want to make the industry better, are usually sitting around that table, because there's hundreds, if not thousands, of contractors in your city, and very few of them are sitting around the tables at these builders associations, and there's more than enough work for those people. So they will support you. There's guys that have been in business a lot longer than I have that had supported me at the beginning and that I would still go to for advice if I have a question, and now they start to call me as well. So that would be what I'd recommend you do. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments below. Happy to help and guide you in any way that we can. Glad you watched this video until the very end. If you want to learn a little bit more about contracts and what we do, we did a video on fixed price contracts versus cost plus contracts. You can click that right now. It's popping up on the screen. And remember to live consciously.